But at least Caitlin Clark avoided deliberately bringing her politics into the limelight. Loaded question, thinking that Caitlin Clark was about to slurp her some Kamala Harris. And it did not go that way.
Imagine this. You're the hottest rookie in the WNBA. Everyone wants a piece of you, but when they ask about politics, you shut it down. That's exactly what Caitlin Clark did, and now everyone's talking. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Let's talk about Clark for a sec. This girl is insane. She's the #1 pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, and for good reason. You won't believe this, but she scored 3,591 points in college. That's more than anyone else in history, and she was National Player of the Year twice. But here's where things get wild. Clark just did something that's got everyone talking, and it's not about her game. You know what's crazier than her skills on the court? What she's doing off it. She's refusing to play the political game, and some people are not happy about it. Is she changing the WNBA, or is the WNBA changing her? Let's find out.
When the media tried to ask her for her actual political affiliations / leanings, she was like, nah. Clark had an opportunity on Wednesday to show her support for Kamala, but she didn't take it.
You'd think being the top draft pick would be enough drama, but Clark's latest move off the court is causing even more waves. What did she say that has everyone talking? It's not about her incredible stats or game-winning shots. Nope, it's about what she's not saying. Picture this, Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation, surrounded by a swarm of reporters, microphones in her face, cameras flashing. They're all dying to know her take on the latest political hot button. But Clark, she's not having it. She straight up tells them, nah, we're not going down that road. Can you believe it? In a world where everyone's got an opinion on everything, Clark's keeping her lips sealed on politics. It's like she's channeling her inner Michael Jordan. Remember when MJ said, Republicans buy sneakers too? Clark's pulling the same move, keeping her focus on the game and leaving the politics to the politicians.
People should get out and vote, and they should vote for whoever they want to after they do their research. But at least Caitlin Clark avoided deliberately bringing her politics into the limelight.
But here's where things get interesting. The WNBA isn't exactly known for staying quiet on big issues. A lot of players use their platform to speak out on social justice, equality, you name it. So when Clark decides to stay mum, it's like she's going against the grain. Some people are loving it. They're saying, finally, an athlete who just wants to play ball, but others, not so much.
For the most part, we know, by and large, they're all supporting the radical left in Kamala Harris. Loaded question, thinking that Caitlin Clark was about to slurp her some Kamala Harris. And it did not go that way.
There are whispers that some WNBA veterans aren't too happy with Clark's stance. They think she's missing a chance to use her star power for good. But here's the thing, Clark's not backing down. She's sticking to her guns, keeping the focus on her game, and let's be real, her game is pretty darn impressive. Maybe she figures her skills on the court speak louder than any political statement ever could. So what does this mean for Clark's future in the WNBA? Will her decision to stay out of politics help or hurt her? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, Clark's making waves both on and off the court. She's showing that sometimes the most powerful statement is no statement at all. Clark's refusal to play politics might be grabbing headlines, but it's her on-court performance that's truly shaking things up. The WNBA's never seen anything like this before. What's causing league veterans to sit up and take notice? Let's talk about the Clark effect. This girl is changing the game, literally. Jerseys are flying off the shelves, and venues are scrambling to accommodate the crowds. It's like the WNBA just got a shot of adrenaline straight to the heart. But hold up, it's not all smooth sailing. Remember Clark's home opener against the New York Liberty? She only scored 2 points. 2? That's the WNBA for you. These vets aren't just gonna roll over for the new kid on the block. They're tough, they're skilled, and they're not about to let Clark steal their spotlight without a fight. And speaking of fights, did you hear about that scuffle with Kennedy Carter? It's got people talking, and not just about basketball. Suddenly, we're knee-deep in conversation conversations about privilege and jealousy in the league. It's like Clark's presence is forcing everyone to confront some uncomfortable truths. But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark's not just changing how the game is played, she's changing how it's covered. The media's all over her, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Some folks are praising her for bringing more eyes to the WNBA, while others are getting heat for their comments. It's like Clark's success is holding up a mirror to the sports world, and not everyone likes what they see. You know what's wild? All this buzz around Clark is shining a light on some deeper issues in the WNBA. We're talking race, representation, the whole 9 yards. It's like Clark's career is becoming a case study for bigger conversations about sports and society. And get this, some people are noticing that white athletes like Clark seem to get more media attention than their black counterparts in the WNBA. That's got people asking some tough questions about racial bias in sports reporting. Is Clark's success exposing some uncomfortable truths about how we cover women's basketball? Now, imagine being in Clark's shoes. 1 minute you're draining threes, the next you're expected to solve the world's problems. How's a rookie supposed to handle that kind of pressure? And what happens when you don't play by the rules everyone else seems to be following? Clark's making waves, but it's not just about her skills on the court anymore. The media is going crazy, and it's not all about her stats. You know what's got everyone talking now? It's what she's not saying. Picture this, Clark's surrounded by reporters, cameras flashing, microphones in her face. They're all dying to know her take on the latest political hot topic, but Clark, she's not biting. She's keeping it all about basketball, and some people aren't happy about it.
Her endorsing Kamala Harris would do nothing but help her in that league when it comes to her fellow players. When you hear a non-endorsement, kind of makes you wonder if she's voting for Trump.
You'd think everyone would be cool with an athlete just wanting to focus on their sport, right? Wrong. In the WNBA, taking a stand on social issues is kind of a big deal. A lot of players use their platform to speak out on important stuff. So when Clark decides to stay quiet, it's like she's going against the flow. But here's the thing, Clark's not completely silent. She's just doing it her way. She's encouraging fans to get involved in a different way. She's saying, hey, go register to vote. Educate yourself on the issues. It's like she's telling people, don't just listen to what I think. Figure it out for yourself.
All right, she didn't blatantly say Republicans buy sneakers too, but she did not give an endorsement of Kamala Harris. Hey, y'all vote for who you want to. You do your research. You do you.
Now, this approach is stirring up all kinds of reactions. Some people are loving it, saying it's refreshing to see an athlete just focus on their sport. Others, not so much. They're saying Clark's missing a chance to use her fame for good. And let's talk about that fame for a sec. Clark's got some serious star power. We're talking a $28 million deal with Nike. That's huge.
Nike announced earlier today that they're signing Hawkeye superstar Caitlin Clark to it. Nike made the announcement along with 4 other young basketball stars, including Bronny James, son of
her first pro game 10 days away, but even before she makes her pro debut, she has a major Nike deal on the line.
But here's where it gets tricky. Some people are saying her marketability isn't just about her game. They're pointing out that being a white woman in a league with a lot of black and LGBTQ plus players might be part of why she's getting so much attention. That's opening up some big conversations about race, representation, and who gets the spotlight in women's sports. It's like Clark's success is holding up a mirror to the whole sports world, and not everyone likes what they see. So what does all this mean for Clark? She's walking a tightrope, trying to balance her personal values with the expectations that come with being a star. It's not just about making baskets anymore. Every move she makes on and off the court is under the microscope. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark for a second. This girl is changing the game in ways we've never seen before. She's not just making waves on the court, she's shaking up the whole WNBA scene. You know what's crazy? Some people are saying Clark's bringing so much attention to the league. She's the reason they're getting private charters and more money. But here's where it gets interesting. Clark's not playing the political game like everyone else. She's keeping it all about basketball, and that's got some people talking.
She decided to not get into politics, is what she did, basically, right? And she took a much more different route than we know most of the players in this league would take.
Is Clark changing the WNBA, or is she just doing her own thing? Either way, the league's never gonna be the same. She's got everyone watching, from fans to sponsors. It's like she's holding up a mirror to the whole sports world, and not everyone likes what they see. But you know what? Clark's just gonna keep doing her thing on and off the court.